Hello. I hope everybody's doing good. Oh, wait a minute. What is this going on here? Okay, I don't know. I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. Clearly, it was not on Do Not Disturb. So let's try that again. And Do Not Disturb. Okay, we are ready. So, anyways, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Whether you're joining me now or joining me later on for the replay, I'm happy that you are here. So, thanks a lot. Anyways, yeah, it's Sunday. I have had a pretty productive weekend. I didn't really do anything, just focusing on what I need to do as far as get my shit together. That's it. Okay. So yeah, as you come in, please do say hello. Say hello to everybody that's here. Say hello to the future people that will be watching it. Say hello to me. And yeah, hey there. Hey, Christine, girl. So I love you. Yes, we need to get together again. Hey, Beijing Alpha, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Yeah, it's just me tonight. It is just me, myself, and y'all. So this is going to be some good convo. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and then I was like, you know what? I always got something to talk about. Yeah, I always have something to say. So yeah, so let's get the party started. It is midnight here, if y'all didn't know. And I do want to say that I am really starting to get more inquiries about information on scouting in Spain. It's very interesting to see more inquiries. I think one is because people are just interested, and I think I like to have something to do with it. And also, I'm talking to more Black people, especially Black women that already live here in Spain. And I'm doing, I think, my third interview with a young lady that lives here in Spain on Thursday. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Thursday. Wednesday. But I'm looking forward to that as she's down in Malaga. But also, I think just with the changing climate that's going on in the US right now, I'm not going to go into it just because I don't want to. I don't want to have my emotions going all over the place. So I'm just going to say I've just noticed more people inquiring about options. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So before we get started, I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for joining. My name is Yolanda. I am Locating Cozy, and this is a broad chat. So thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me this evening. I like to share that the reason that I'm doing this so late at night, at midnight here in Spain, is because I know that most people that are probably watching me are in the US and or on some kind of central time in the US. And I just would like to be part of the Sunday community where we kind of help you be part of jumpstarting the following week. So this just seems to be the best time that I can make the most connections. And actually, what's funny is I do this, and I love doing this. I love communicating with everybody and just sharing my experience. But for the most part, most people that are watching this are watching it like after I record anyways, after I do the live. And you know what? At first I thought, well, maybe I should just go ahead and just upload. And I actually do like the communication that happens right now. So I like going live. I really do enjoy it. But whenever you're watching it, I hope that you have some great takeaways from this experience. So anyways, who is here? Who is in the chats? Who is here live right now? Please do make yourself known. I would appreciate it. Okay. And please do make sure that you do like and subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I think that's all the same thing. Make sure you hit the little notification bell so that you will know next time I go live or whenever I have something really profound and wonderful to say. Yeah. So please do that. Make sure that you like and subscribe. So What is going on? Wait a minute. Where's my notes at? Where's my notes at? Because I think I had something cool or something to say. Maybe not. Okay. Well, what's going on in my world? Yeah, what's going on in my world? I have been working on Harper Will this weekend, and I'm very proud of myself. So, locating cozy is all about me, locating and finding my happiness and moving to Spain or pet sitting or just figuring out what's making me happy, locating my cozy. Harper Will is my accounts receivable business. That's my consulting service. And I had been kind of lazy because I'm doing all the things. And so this weekend, I actually spent time creating content for Harper Will Consulting, creating content for LinkedIn. And yeah, I'm really excited and very proud of myself for doing that on Canva. So that's what I have been doing this weekend. And I have everything scheduled now for the next 2 weeks. What I loved about LinkedIn is that I can just go in and schedule the post. So what I did do is I actually had created some content, like video content regarding my accounting services. And I did that and I recorded it like maybe a week and a half ago. And then I realized that the background, because it was just this background and that wasn't going to work. And then I was like, well, sit on the couch. That wasn't going to work. I can't be like talking money and leaned all the way back on my couch. I wouldn't do that. But lean back and chilling on my couch talking about, let me take care of your money. That won't work. So anyways, I have been putting off posting on LinkedIn because I was like, no, you need to have video content and you need to create the clips. And I spent first of all, I spent about a good 45 minutes doing the first recordings and doing my whole spiel and creating content on, recording myself. And then I realized that I had hit pause at some point and did not start recording again. So then I had to start all completely over, and I did and recorded all this content, but then I just didn't like the background. It just wasn't. Yeah, and plus also y'all can see that little white dot because I had put something, the little art thing up here. I put it up and it fell. And when I pulled off the little Velcro, whatever that's supposed to like not take the paint off, yeah, it took the paint off. So the bottom line is I have to recreate the recordings I need to do something better with the recordings. But in the meantime, I have created content to put on there. So that's what I've been up to. And I'm really, really proud of myself because if I do say so, it looks freaking good. But anyways, that's my joy right now. Who's here? I see people coming in, but I only see that Christine has said something. Well, can y'all hear me okay? I want to make sure. Please do confirm that you can see me and hear me okay, that the audio sounds good, because I'll just be talking and won't have a clue. Okay, so anyways, I hope everyone had a great weekend, and I would love to know, what have you been up to this weekend? How has it gone? What have you done? Yeah, what's going on in your world? The other thing that y'all know I love to do is I love to ask, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing to put yourself first, to make you happy, to bring you joy, thereby maybe bringing more positive surrounding all the way around. But first, let's put you first. What are you doing? How are you locating your cozy? Please do share in the comments. What have you done lately for you? Sometimes it's a walk. Sometimes for me, it was like making a sweet dish that didn't consist of ice cream. Okay. Anyways, for me, how am I locating my cozy? I don't have anything this week, or I'm sure I had something on Wednesday. I don't have anything really profound that I've done. I've just been going with the flow and just trying to stay focused on what I need to do. And I'm okay with that. So I don't have anything really profound this week that I have that says I am locating my cozy. Christine said I did absolutely nothing this weekend. And doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it, when you absolutely do? Because sometimes I feel a little guilty, like, girl, you need to get out. And then I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I did nothing. I like that. She said I did absolutely nothing this weekend. And she liked it. I can so appreciate that right now. I really can. Because the thing was, though, I will say this. Last night I was working on the content. I've been watching, I always have like something on, and I've been watching Rookie. Yeah, I've been watching Rookie. That's what I was watching yesterday and today. And it's it's entertainment in the background. But before I knew it, I was sitting up there and doing things all day long. I was working on some other stuff, and then I was working on my content for Harperwell. And yeah, I looked up, and it was like maybe 10, and I was like back deep in there and trying to figure out, because sometimes in my brain, if I don't see it as being perfect, then I'm like, no, I go down this rabbit hole. Anyways, I was working on, and I wanted to create 2 weeks worth of content, and I was working on it, and I looked up and I got a message from D from H&D Abroad. She had sent me a link, and I was like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. Yeah, I did not realize it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, maybe you should go to bed. Maybe your brain is a little bit fried now because I've been working on it. And the thing was, sometimes you have to do that, because once I think I went to bed about maybe, it was about maybe 1:30, almost 2 o'clock this morning. And I literally woke up this morning. When I got up this morning, I was like, okay, now I know how I need to present, because, you have like little content, the marketing graphics that I created, but then you also have to have a little blurb, but I don't want to have too much. But yeah, this morning I woke up with fresh ideas about how I wanted to present my content. So yeah, whoever says, sometimes you have to push through, but sometimes you just need to rest, so then you can like wake up refreshed and have a better idea of what you want to do. So anyways, again, please do share. How have you been locating your cozy? I love Christina, like, just like, yeah, you've been in the house all weekend just chilling and stuff. She said she's had tiramisu and pizza. Oh, you finally got your tiramisu. Oh, I need to know where you got your tiramisu from. I'm just curious. When you have a chance, please do share. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about some of the perceived or real pros and cons of Zaragoza. And I'm saying, like, Spain, to me, this is a hidden gem in Spain, Zaragoza. And oh yeah, let me go ahead and put this out here. It's in the description, but I'm also going to put the links here, because I guess I do need to do some marketing for Locating Cozy, because we are having a big meetup in April 13th to April 19th. We're having a meetup in Spain. So if you would like to get more information about the meetup in Spain, if you are part of the Exodus Summit community, you can actually go into the events there, and there's a calendar event in the Exodus Summit community. But also, you can actually, if you are part of the Black in Zaragoza community, and I'm going to put that information here, if I can. If you join the Black in Zaragoza community Facebook group, you can actually get information there. So please do subscribe. So there's ways. Now, if you are not a social media Facebook person, then I'm going to give you another way that you can actually go ahead and sign up for subscribe to my email updates, and you will get information there also. There will be a link for you to RSVP if you would like to come to Spain, hang out. It might be that you just want to do Madrid, because we're going to do 3 days in Madrid and 3 days in Zaragoza. So you can do all of it 1 week, because we really do have a great kickoff that's going to start. It's a great event that's going to start that Sunday, that Sunday that everything starts. You spend 3 days in Madrid. We're going to have an event each day, and then we'll go to Zaragoza, and you'll have an event each day there. And I'm hoping that Christine, you'll be at one of them, since Christine lives in Zaragoza, somewhere around in the town. So I hope to see you there. Anyways, okay, and so I just posted the email with the form that you fill out to actually get the email subscription instead. So it's up to you. But please do RSVP one of those ways, so that you will get all the information. I'm really, really excited about this. Just having people come and check it out, whether you want to move here or whether you want to just come, you're just scouting or you just need to get the heck out for a little while. So you just want to come over here for a little bit. Okay. So there you go. So let's get this party started. I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of living in Spain, things that you have to consider. And excuse me, living in Zaragoza. I am like kind of honing this down to in Zaragoza. Some things are kind of across the board, across Spain, and some things are like kind of true across Europe. But I'm going to pin this conversation down to Zaragoza. Okay, because I have lived in Zaragoza now since April of last year. I cannot believe it's coming up on a year that I've been here. This is wild to me when I really think about it. Like in 2 months, I will have been here for a year, 2 months and 1 week. That time is just passing by so fast. Oh my gosh, this is just amazing. Anyways, I see people coming in, but I don't see anybody else really like saying hello. Chris, I mean, thank you, Bayesian Alpha. I love you much, and you know that. But I'm like, where's it? Okay, thank you. Hello. Okay. Like, speak to me. Okay. So the luxury bucket list. Okay, there we go. The luxury bucket list says I'm locating my cozy on my rooftop in Rome, having a midnight snack, a beer, listening to you, my girl. I need to talk to you because I'm always like ready to speak to people that are in different parts of the world and telling me about their experiences. So I'm gonna reach out to you. Or send me some information because I would love to have you on if you're open. Okay. Anyways, I feel like, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, why do I feel like we've talked and maybe we haven't, and I'm just making stuff up. Okay, so anyways, so yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the pros and cons. And for all fairness, my plan is that I want to do for every pro I do, I want to give a con also. So because I don't want it to just seem like one-sided and then just go down a straight list of all the cons and y'all be like, well, this sounds like it's really too good to be true. And then I start going down the cons list. So I'm going to kind of balance it out. I think that's fair enough. I will say this. I'm going to start out with 3 cons right off the bat. Okay, so don't listen to what I say, listen to what I do. Okay, so I'm going to start off with 3 cons right off the bat because these are just something that's really very specific to me and something that I just, as I was getting ready for today, it was like little mental notes that I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. This makes me feel a certain kind of way. So here are my 3 cons that I'm saying this, and I hope that you will find the entertainment value in this, but I'm real. I'm being very honest here. Okay. One of my cons is I hate the hard towels. Hard towels is very frustrating to me. So what I mean is here, most places now, they have a washing machine, but dryers are not the standard. You'll usually have in your apartment, you'll likely have a washing machine in your apartment standard. Dryers are not washer and dryer separate is not really a thing. You can probably find them somewhere maybe in the newer apartments, but in the older apartments, as far as I know, they come with washers and maybe they have the washer dryer combo, but the dryer part on the washer dryer combo overall, it sucks to me. I hate it because when you have the dryer combo, it takes 3 hours to run for the whole cycle. And that's just frustrating. Yeah, it just takes so long. So my washer went out, I think back in November because it was a washer dryer. And so I would still take once it washed, I wouldn't do the dryer cycle. I would just take my stuff and hang it out. I don't have a big balcony where I can hang stuff out to dry or one of those line things that they have outside the window, which I still don't like those. But for the most part, I don't mind hanging my clothes up once they've been washed. I don't mind hanging them up, wherever throughout my apartment or on a drying rack. Clothes are fine. I don't have any issues except for the towels. The towels, I don't care how nice and soft they were when you bought them, by the time they are washed, I'll say maybe 3 times tops. They're hard as hell, and it's very frustrating. So I don't know if there's some secret towels that are really super soft that never get hard that I just have not found out about, because I would invest. I would invest in a good towel that if it had to be dried outside or inside, I don't, if it had to be dried or air dried, that it would still stay soft. I don't know where that secret towel, that resource is. So if anybody knows, let me know. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments after. If it's a replay, I'm asking for your help. I just haven't found it. Have I gotten over it? Yeah, I've gotten over it for the most part. There's like one towel that I really, it's a really big, gigantic towel that I really like. That's the one that seems to be, gets hard. Like when it dries, it's just hard. But you know what? It's not the end of the world, but it is a frustration. So that's a con. The other thing that is a con to me, which I noticed when I first came to Spain for the first time, was there's no Black people nod. There's no acknowledgement. In Mexico, when I went to Mexico for 2 months, if you saw another Black person, it's like you'd be like, hey, what's up? There was like that acknowledgement. I wasn't getting that here and in Spain. And the reason why is because there's not as many. Yeah, there wasn't as many like Black Americans here. So even like when I was in Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, I don't know, there was Black people. And if you did run into a Black person, like you guys would make eye contact and it would be like, oh, hey, yeah, what's up? And yeah, if I'm doing, y'all know what I'm talking about, the acknowledgement. But that's not universal. The acknowledgement with the head nod up is not universal. And I learned that the hard way. So whenever I see a Black person, sometimes I'll be like, hey, and they're like, what's wrong with your neck? Okay, so yeah, that's the reality. It's a con. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something that I've definitely noticed. So my third con, actually, you know what? That one I'm going to wait on. That one I'm going to wait on because I think it kind of falls in line with something else. So let's talk about some pros. A pro of living in Zaragoza is definitely the cost. Okay, affordable cost of living. That's just the bottom line. It's, you're not going to find, well, I guess some people can still find like, rent for like 300 or 400 euro a month. Yes, that is possible. That's not my reality. But when I found my daughter, they had a place where they live on just like, I guess in the suburbs for a 3-bedroom. They were paying, I think, 550 euro. And it's nice. And I have a 2-bedroom, 750. And the thing is, it would be a lot more. It would be like, I think $500 to $600 more if I was in where I had planned to go, was Madrid. So yes, it's more. As far as, there's a lot of things. Utilities is, my utilities run about maybe no more than 100 a month right now. Like when I'm really using the heat or really using the AC, no more than 100 euro. Okay. Groceries are still they're expensive for me just because I like to cook. And then I also like to go out to eat. Although I don't go out that much right now. I don't go out. I might go out like twice a week now. Yeah. So yeah, but the cost of living overall is just a lot less expensive. It's not as expensive as maybe Madrid or Barcelona. So it's way cheaper than in the US. That's just a given. I'm going to throw out another positive since I did 2 cons already, even though they were light. Let's see. Another positive is that it's less touristy. Zaragoza is less touristy than, of course, the most well-known places in Spain. You have, of course, Barcelona, you have Madrid, you have Malaga, you have Valencia, you have Sevilla, there's so many beautiful tourist places. but Zaragoza is not as overwhelmed with the tourism here. Now, don't get me wrong, it happens. It's because there are some great places here that people do come and they want to check out and they want to visit. And you have the Basilica del Pilar, Plaza Pilar, where the cathedral is. So there are major tourist areas, but it's just not as intense as it is in other parts of Spain, in major cities like Madrid. Now, I will say that as far as the culture, they have a lot of events. So, and like, I mean, if there's a soccer game, or if there's any cultural games, or excuse me, events or holidays that are going on, it is very authentic and very involved. Like the city comes out for that. So it feels like to me that um, the local events that happen, I mean, the city shows up. They show up. And you have to make decisions about if you feel like being in the middle of the crowd. One of the big events that happens, and I forget the name of it right now, but and I could look it up. And if anybody remembers or looks it up, thank you. That happens in October. That they have like the whole week of activities, and I mean this it is absolutely maddening how like people are just crammed onto the tram line, onto the tram, trying to get to the carnival that's all the way in the north side, or to the street festival that's I'm sorry, the carnival's on the south side and the street festival is on the north side over by the cathedral. It is packed. And I know that there's a lot of people that come to Zaragoza for those events. In March, there's going to be God, the event that's coming up to for the Easter celebration that's coming up, where they walk down the street. Oh God, Semana Santa. Thank you, Jesus. I couldn't remember the name of it. Semana Santa is coming up in March, I believe, and that's going to be people come into town for that, and it's going to be very busy. But overall, it's still not as touristy as it is in the other cities. So yeah, that's a fact. Let's see. Let's go down to the cons. Okay, so here's the con. It's called the wait a minute. Cierzo? Cierzo wins? Cierzo wins. Okay, so it's basically like if it's windy here, think I guess I don't know because I've never been to Chicago, but think Chicago wind chill. Okay. So yeah, it's intense. Like if you're in, especially if you're in the central area, if you're coming and you walk around a corner and you're thinking that, oh, it's not so bad, and then all of a sudden that wind just hits you hard, like, it's hard enough that, I have to make sure that everything is pinned down just right, okay? Because that wind can knock can knock you around a little bit. It's not that bad, but it is. You have to be prepared. You really do, and you have to know what the temperature is, because if it says that it's, I don't know, say they say that it's 40 degrees outside, and I'm giving I'm giving Fahrenheit, not Celsius, but if they say it's 40 degrees outside and that wind is hitting, the Cierzo wind is hitting, it might feel like it's 25. It's intense. So yeah, that can be very frustrating. And it's funny because I'll be sitting up here right now. I have a tenant right now, somebody that's staying here. She goes out and she just like comes back like she was just fighting with that wind. It's like, I'm like, you okay? She's like, it's horrible out there. And I'll be sitting here because I'm right, my little office set up where I get all my work done. There's a big window and you can just hear like the wind just hitting, like it's like slapping everybody around outside. So yeah, the wind can be quite intense when you're just thinking it's like a bit of a breezy day. And yeah, you come back and all of a sudden you're like, it's freezing outside. Yeah, gotcha, fooled you. Okay. Let's see here. Um, Positive. There is, there's a great, I mean, I think any city in, just about any city in Europe, in Spain has great cultural, well, it has some cultural history that is beautiful. That, to see the authentic buildings, to see, the architecture. It is beautiful. Here, the Ebro River is just so nice to get up and walk along, like on a, in any given day. It's a beautiful, that's part of the tourist attraction also, because right by Plaza Pilar, there is the Ebro River, and they have this little bridge that you can walk across. It's not a huge bridge. It's very simple, but it's just a beautiful view, and people go canoeing, or they go in there, and it's beautiful. So there is a lot of great things to see. One of the things that I'm planning on doing with my Internations group is to start a walking group twice a week. I haven't done it yet, but one of them is to go walking, not just along the Ebro River, but to, like, maybe each time kind of like go off in a different path. At least once we go off on a different path, it's not the same, so we can kind of still discover it, because Zaragoza is quite big. It's not Madrid or Barcelona big, but it is quite big. Again, it's the fifth largest city in Spain. 700, I think, and 784,000. So yeah, it's not like a small Pueblo. Yeah, Pueblo. Yes, it's big. And there's so much to see and enjoy. And if you're a person like me that just really enjoys looking at, this historical architecture, it's quite enjoyable, and you can appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? Luxury bucket list and Christine and Beijing Alpha are having a good conversation. Hey. So one of the cons that has been stated, yeah, okay, limited international community. So as far as Zaragoza, compared to Madrid and Barcelona, Zaragoza does have a smaller expat English-speaking community. It is growing. Because I don't feel like I would have necessarily settled here so easily had I not noticed the growing community, and the locals, businesses that are flourishing, that are inviting and trying to communicate with people more in English. And not to say that you shouldn't do your best to try to learn Spanish and learn some basic communications. I think that's very important. But definitely, I'm starting to realize that most people that don't speak English here, it is somewhat of a challenge. It is definitely a challenge sometimes to communicate, but it's not impossible. But that can be a con, that some people are like, no, I need to go someplace where there's more English speaking that's accepted here. Yeah, that could be an issue. That can be a con. It's not a deal breaker for me, because I do see the growth and potential, and I am making the effort also to learn and figure out the best way to communicate with locals or others that have moved here. So yeah, it can be a con, but it's not a deal breaker. Work it out. Okay. Let's see. If you have any questions, please do ask about maybe something that you might have perceived as being a pro or a con. I would love to know what insight you may have about the possibility of Zaragoza, or some of the areas in the nearby, some of the nearby areas. I would love to know. Let's see. One of the great things I do like about Zaragoza is the transportation. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I love not having a car. I love it. I'm so happy that I paid. And I was upside down when I sold my car when I left the States. And it took me like 4 months to pay off that balance where I was upside down. And it was worth it. But people have asked me, they're like, are you going to get a car now that you're in Spain? No, nope, not doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Parking is kind of rough. Parking gets kind of rough here, because like whenever my family, my son-in-law, my daughter, the baby comes over, they sometimes have a hard time finding parking, here. Now, in most apartments, they do have where you can actually get a parking spot. but I don't have a car, and I wasn't even given that option, as a matter of fact, to secure a parking spot with this apartment. But whenever my family comes over, yeah, they have to like either park down the street. If they're lucky, sometimes they can find some street parking. But for the most part, that tram is amazing. I love it. It's convenient. I have not, I mean, and also, yeah, they have the bus, the tram and the bus system here works great. I live pretty close to the tram, so I either walk wherever I need to go or I get on the tram, depending. Um, yeah, and if I really need to get someplace quick and in a hurry, or I don't feel like, or if I'm running late, like a lot of times, yeah, it's easy to get a taxi or get an Uber here. Very easy. There are times, because of certain events that are happening in the city, that getting an Uber on a Saturday afternoon is impossible. Like, you'll get a notice saying, we're trying to find somebody, or they're like, okay, it'll be 30 minutes before the Uber can get there. In that case, what I will usually do is, if I'm not going to take the tram, I will just walk up a few blocks to one of the main streets, and then I'll just wave down a taxi. And for the most part, taxis in Spain, they take credit cards. Yeah, so you can pay in cash, or they have I think it's law that they have to accept credit cards in taxis. So yeah, I get around just fine, no problems, and I love it. Yes, I think about how much I was spending on car insurance, gas, all that. Yeah, it's it's a it's mind-boggling, and I'm like, wow. It just feels so good not to have to worry about that. One thing I will say is, the gas factor, and like the money that I was spending on gas and on tollways, that disappeared when I started working remote, but I was still in the US. So when I started working remote in 2018, just to not have to pay the toll was it was just so, you felt so light. I think when I first started working remote, and I think I was spending like maybe 30, I had to fill up my gas tank maybe once a month. Yeah, it was wonderful. So now, not to have like any kind of other anything car related, yeah, I'm good to go. I'm happy. Let's see here. I think I just answered this. Yes, okay. Hey, Savani, how you doing, hon? Good to see you. She says, what is transportation like between cities? Oh, okay, between Madrid and Zaragoza. Is it expensive, easy, and what type of payment do they take? Okay, so there's trains that go, and actually they have some other options also. Like, they have like the ride share options if you need to go to like one of the other towns, or go to Madrid or Barcelona or whatever. But there's trains, there's buses. Yeah, because let me tell you something. If you are coming to, and this is good for anybody that's about to come to Spain, and or coming in April to hang out with me, but it is best, as far as with my experience, not to wait until the day before to get a train, because if you have to be someplace. Now, if you're on open schedule and you're like, oh, I'll get there whenever, that's great. You will be able to, most likely there's a bunch of train options. I like Irio. But if you have to be someplace by a certain time, don't get the train ticket and try to get it that morning, because there may not be any available at all. So just know that that yeah, you want to, if you have to be in Zaragoza by a certain time, I would say get it, a few days beforehand, but not the day before. I had a young lady that was visiting me back in October, and I think she was trying to like come from Madrid to Zaragoza, and like the next morning, and I was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to find a train ticket that fast. I like Irio because I like the trains are just a little bit cleaner. The staff is just a little bit nicer. So Irio is like, they got me. I will always go there. But then you also have Renfe, and there's other train lines that will get you there. Irio literally goes directly from Madrid to Zaragoza, Zaragoza to Barcelona. There's no stops. Renfe has stops in between, like the little towns. So they have little stops in between. But you can also take a bus. And again, there's some rideshare options. I can't speak on that because I've never done a rideshare at all. But yeah, there's options to get around everywhere. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Ah, let's see. So yeah, that's definitely a pro. They have excellent public transportation, digging it all the way. And let's see here. So yes, siestas can be inconvenient. Yes. So siesta is really not, I guess, something that you really notice. Like if you're in Madrid or Barcelona, the bigger cities, you don't really notice it because for the most part, they're not shutting down like, the big grocery stores, the malls, or excuse me, the department stores or anything like that. And they don't do that here either. The grocery stores in Zaragoza, department stores in Zaragoza, the department stores, the big stores, they are open all day long. The smaller stores, they close. They close for siesta, and restaurants, they close down. Like I think the restaurants close at, I can't remember. I think it's restaurants close like from three or four until like 8 o'clock. Not all of them, but most of them. But even if they're open, they're not serving food during that time. They're like, if you want to come and sit down and have a drink, that's fine, but they're not serving food at most of them. There are some restaurants that like I love Chican, it's the Ecuadorian restaurant that I love. They will still serve food for the most part, but just know siestas are real in the smaller towns. And even though population here is 780 something thousand, a lot of the stores do shut down. So they have the bookstores, all that stuff. It shuts down. So I don't necessarily think that that's a con, but I can see it being kind of frustrating to someone that is not used to it. Definitely. Now, they have this one restaurant. I've only gone one time. No, I've gone twice. I take that back. Twice. I remember, and when I had a young lady that was visiting me a few months ago, and it was like 7 o'clock, and we were hungry. We were hungry, and but nothing opened until 8. Here they have what's comparable to a Denny's or an IHOP. It's called Vips. I had a good experience there one time, and another time I had an experience, and I was like, "This is freaking disgusting." Yeah, so it's a hit or miss, but it's like a Denny's, IHOP, a what's the other one? Yeah, you get the drift. Yeah, it's one of those places. They have pancakes, they have the burgers. That's what it was. My sister-in-law had a burger, and she's like, "Oh, it's good." I tasted it. It was freaking horrible, absolutely horrible. But yeah. So just know it. It happens. That's just how it is. Okay. Um. Yeah. And then, yeah, but everything opens back up at about 8 o'clock. I actually met with a friend of mine, young lady that I know. She's from Prague that lives here. And we got together and went out for dinner Thursday night, and the reservation was for 8:30. That's just so hard for me. It's like, and the restaurant had literally just opened up at 8:30. So the food was good. I had a really, really, really good steak. So I really enjoyed it. But it was kind of like mentally, I'm like, this is so late to be eating. But yeah, I pushed through. And, especially now that I'm going to be trying to do this whole dinner club thing once a month, I have to get over myself and just accept that, yeah, if you're gonna do this, you cannot be like having dinner at 7. You have to wait until at least 8:30, 9 o'clock. But it was great. We had a great time. And then just to be able to walk back to my house, it was probably like about, I want to say it was like what, about a mile or something to walk back to my house. We didn't feel like getting on the tram. So that's how you just get your exercise, your little extra exercise. We had a great meal, had a great steak, and then walked back to my apartment, which was about just over a mile away, and didn't even think anything of it. It was like, okay, and I'm home. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I have to get the luxury bucket list. This is too funny. Oh, because we had the same experience. She said I had barbecue here in Rome. It was rated high. It was disgusting. Same thing happened to us in Madrid. Yes, just such a highly rated barbecue place in Madrid because the guy that started it, I don't know if they were from the US. I don't know if they trained with somebody from the US or if the restaurant was owned by somebody from the US. It wasn't Texas. Um, and we had all of the different dishes, and it was not good, not good at all. I was like, "Oh, you fooled us! You got us." Okay, yeah, I was upset. But you know what? You try some things, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. And that didn't work out at all, at all. Anyways, she said, "I'm sorry." I'm looking at it. She said they should have been charged. They should have been brought up on charges, trying to pass that off as barbecue. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back up. So, I will say, let's see here. I'm trying to see what are some of the things here. You know what? The locals are friendly. Everybody has their own experience, especially as a Black woman, as a woman of color. Everybody, I can't speak for all of the people or all of the expats that have come here, or all the Black people that have come here. So I'm just going to speak on mine and just wholeheartedly agree. Have there been a few challenges? Yeah, some people say something random every now and then, but for the most part, it's not enough for me to be like, oh, just Zaragoza people as a whole, they're just horrible. Zar Zaragozans? I'm trying to see what they call people from Zaragoza. Zaragozanos? Zaragozanos. Oh, that's how you say it, Zaragozanos. Okay. I have had, for the most part, and I think I've shared this many times, I've had really, really good experiences. If I got a bad vibe from anybody, I just didn't deal with them anymore. It wasn't, and either just because I just maybe didn't like their personality or whatever. I think I've had maybe like 3 or 4 people that I've met that I'm like, I don't need to see you ever again in life. Um, but I think that part goes like wherever I am in the world. There are people that I just meet in the world, and I'm like, I have want nothing to do with you ever. And that's okay. That's okay. But for the most part, I have felt welcomed. I have felt, I think I felt more welcome than the first time. The first time that I came to Zaragoza, it was back in 2018. I was getting some looks like, who is this? And I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. So deal with it. And I just went on about my business. I feel like now in the year of 2024, 2025, I definitely have over the time that I've been visiting Zaragoza and visiting Spain, namely Zaragoza, I felt more welcome and welcome each time that I come here. And that, you know, they they know me, or I don't know, we just start having little conversations as best we can, or just having natural conversations. But overall, I feel like it has been easy for me to integrate into this community. And I haven't gotten any negative vibes. Like when I go, and I say it like this because it's like I go to the grocery store, just walking in, in this building, where I live, I haven't gotten any kind of negative vibes at all. I feel like when I tell people that, and I say to them, hablo un poco español, and, they know I'm trying, and I'll try to conversate with them, and they are very patient and been pretty much, when I go into, cafes or whatever, yeah, they will, I haven't had any issues. And I say this as I'm thinking, I'm like, no, I haven't had any issues that have made me be like, let me get the hell up out of here. That's the difference. Okay. So I'll say it like that. Attitude sometimes? Yeah, sure. I give attitude sometimes. Yes. I'll tell you, I had an experience. I may have shared this. If not, we're sharing again. Um, if I haven't, we're sharing it again. But I was in El Corte Inglés, I want to say about a month or so ago. And yeah, it was around Christmas time. And there was a long line. uh, And it's like El Corte Inglés is a department store, but at the bottom in the basement at the Zaragoza location is just like really fancy grocery store. So, anyways, there was a long line, and there was an older gentleman that was right in front of me, and he was like one person away from getting to the cashier, and then I was behind him, and then there was this long line because again it was holidays, and this older lady just walked right up in front of the old man and just stood there, and I, in my whatever effort in Spanish to let her know, like, the line's back there, the end of the line is back there, and she looked at me because I was like, maybe the older gentleman and her together, they were not. I could not express to her in Spanish, get your ass to the back of the line. And nobody else seemed to care. And she just stared me down. So I stared her down. And it was like, we couldn't speak to each other in the respective languages, but we looked at each other like, she looked at me like, B, I dare you to say something. And I looked at her like, B, I want to say something. I couldn't though. So I just had to let it go. I had to let it go. But yeah, that's so I've had some situations that I'm like, I've gotten attitude from somebody and I've given the attitude. So yes, we stared at each other and cursed each other out every which way, just by the stare. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. And she was done, and she jumped in front of the guy and checked out too. Okay. So yeah, that irked me. That irked me to no end. Oh my gosh. Um, see. Oh, hello. Let's see here. M. Bright asks question: do you know anything about the racism in schools? I have a son, but am worried about that. So the only things I know is based on my daughter was an auxiliary for many years now. She hasn't done it since I think 2021, but she was a teaching assistant, and right now my tenant that's here is also an English language teaching assistant. I can't say. Okay, I will say this. I'm pretty sure that your child is much safer at any school here in Spain than they would be possibly in the US. Let's keep it real. Okay. Let me just say that. I cannot say that they will not experience any discrepancy. There are Black students here. My child, my grandchild, who is, she's just 3. But yes, there's always that concern that they might experience some type of um, uh, racism, some kind of, like unfairness, don't get me wrong. And I can't speak to that. I can't speak to like what maybe somebody with the children, like, or the students that are maybe from Africa, like there's a whole Senegalese population here also. I can't speak to how they're treated there. But as an American child, I feel like you would still be in a safer situation, or your child will be in a safer situation than any situation I can imagine right now um in in the US. I'm sorry if I'm kind of stuttering over that because I don't want to speak on something that I don't know about for sure. But is there racism? Is there some people that are disenfranchised? Happens all over the world. I would say that I wouldn't let that be something that would deter you if you were going to consider coming to Spain. I would say check with the other groups, check with, and that's why I'm doing like Created Black in Zaragoza, because they have a Black in Spain. Check with that and see if you can get any insight. I don't know if there's any subgroups that are like for parents specifically, but I know, and I also know that, is it? No, that's Heather. I'm sorry, that was Heather Proctor for Black in Portugal. She was creating a subgroup for parents of Black in Portugal parents. And I don't know if that was for single parents or just for parents in general. But the bottom line is that I would suggest that you find community, either through the bigger groups that are Black focused or along that diaspora, to see what that looks like. think that's the best answer I can give you right now, since my kids are grown and gone, and my grandchild is 3, so she's friends with everybody right now, and there's no issues with her right now. And I think the wrath would come down if on teachers if there were. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I will be approving anybody that wants to join Black in Zaragoza after this live. Let's see. Let me go back here. Okay. So they say one of the cons is limited nightlife. I disagree. Now, because my tenant that lives here says she's found the whole community of the I guess Black, like non-US Black people that have lived here, that like are from Africa, different parts of Africa, and they have a whole nightlife. Because she had invited me out, and she's like, well, they go out at about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing that. I thought I could, but there is a whole nightlife scene. Whether it is now, I mean, do they have like, a nightclub that's specifically for Black expats? I don't know, because I don't go out that late at night. But there is a scene out there, not just for like I said, my tenant, she definitely knows about how they get out and go out at 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And hey, happy for you. I know also down in the El Tubo area, there's a whole nightlife scene, because I've been invited out at midnight to go, and they're like, we'll be here until 6 in the morning. I'm like, okay, well, you do that. That is not my mission. But some people, I guess, have said that, oh, the nightlife is not the same. It is not the same. No, of course not. It's not the same as if you were in the US or if you were in Madrid or Barcelona. It is absolutely probably not the same. Okay. But it definitely exists. It is definitely there. People definitely, I mean, because you have to understand, there's universities here. There's 2 big universities here. There's 2 big colleges here. So it is not just, Zaragoza is very much family oriented. It is here. It has their elderly here, but also it has young people here are here, and they go out. And it's not just college age that's going out. There is something to do along the lines of having fun, period. Like I like to go to, what is that place that Ginger Fizz. Yes, there's a place called Ginger Fizz that I like their cocktails, like to go there. There is Moonlight Experimental. Actually, I just posted in the Black in Zaragoza Facebook group about like some of the places where I've really thoroughly enjoyed. They have really nice cocktails. So that's more my speed. I like to go listen to some music, enjoy some cocktails, and I don't plan on being out past like 1. It's not happening. But, and then they also have like, there's something that's coming on soon. They have like a whole R&B series that's going on, where you can go to like this little speakeasy kind of place and enjoy some good R&B music. So yeah, excuse me, maybe not R&B. It was blues. It was the blues. But yeah, it's there. And if I really feel the need that I have got to go and listen to, or be amongst more modern music, I will plan to be in Madrid a couple of days, which I will be doing in February this month. In March, I have a pet sit in March. That's a week, just over a week long. And then I'll be in Madrid again in April for the meetup. So yeah, if I really have to go and for the nightlife, I can go. But there is, I think, plenty to do if you really need to go out and meet up with some friends at night and do things. You're good to go. If you are somebody that has to go and discover all the time, you have to be out like every single night, and you have to find the newest and latest club every single night. Zaragoza probably ain't for you. Okay. But I will say this. for the younger women that I've seen that do live here, because I'm in like a group called Girl Gone International, and so they have like the young. There's like a mixture of women that belong to this group, and there's plenty of people that I've seen saying like, "Oh, such and such is doing a concert in Barcelona. Let's go!" And they will like do their get on a train or bus or whatever, and they will go for the concert for the weekend because again, it's only an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, it's accessible, very accessible. That's my thoughts. Okay, so let's see here. Lower crime rate. Okay, so Zaragoza is one of the safest cities with a low crime rate. I don't have exact statistics, so I will not be lying to you. I will say though that I feel completely safe. Now, overall, I mean, I've been around different parts of Madrid and I felt safe. I don't think I would be doing that in Barcelona, but in Madrid, I felt pretty freaking safe walking around at night. Like if I had to walk pets or whatever, I didn't have any concerns. I really have no concerns here. Not saying that crime doesn't happen, so I don't want anybody to be like, oh, like she said there's never any crime. That's not what I'm saying, but it's one of the safest cities. Definitely felt safe. It was so funny because when I was here in 2023 with one of my sisters that come here with me, and we had our Airbnb and we had to walk down this little alley to get to our Airbnb. She's like, I'm not walking down there. I had already had this same exact experience when I came here in 2018 because the Airbnb that I had to walk down this little alley to get from my daughter's place to my Airbnb. And I was like, this is crazy. I'm walking down this alley at night, completely safe. So I had to show my sister the same thing because she's like, we need to find the main street. And I was like, we're fine. I'm not, yeah, it's like I'm not encouraging anybody to put yourself in danger, and that's not what we were doing. I knew that we were fine walking down this alley to get to our Airbnb, and she was really confused. And then she was like, "Oh," it kind of hit her like, "Oh, it's not the same." Um, there was no reason to feel unsafe. Absolutely no reason to feel unsafe or like you were in danger. So yeah, I can walk home at night or walk around at night here in this neighborhood where I am now, and I'm not concerned. And it's very different than in big cities. So yeah, that's definitely a pro. I was shocked. Okay, so across Spain, I think across the EU period is the bureaucracy, the red tape, the paperwork frustrations. It is insane. Visa, healthcare, all these things, you just have to get over. It can be very slow. It can be very frustrating to just the process because like just to even get my Spanish ID card, my NIF card here. No, not NIF, it was the TIE card. It's like they don't mail it to you. You don't, it's not mailed to you. You go, I brought all this paperwork. You go to the police station. They take all the information, and then you have to go online and schedule an appointment to go and pick up your card. Yeah. So yeah, it's not just like, oh, we'll mail it to you. Nope, you have to go pick it up and you have to go online and schedule an appointment to come in to pick it up. So it's just like, and even like for the bank, I'm getting ready to open up my Spanish bank account, and it was just frustrating because you have to pick the bank that you're going to be going to on the regular, and that's where you have to go and open up your account with, or you have to like if you do it online, you need to like select, this is the bank that I'm going to be going to on the regular. Not saying that the other ATM, like you can go use the ATM machines and all that stuff. That's fine. But if you need any personalized customer service help with your bank account, you have to go to the bank where you open it up. You can't go to another bank, another location and say, I need help since I'm over here on this side of town today. I need your help. Nope, you cannot. They won't see you. They'll tell you that you have to go to your bank. So little things like that. And also, just depending on where you're going, if you're trying to get any kind of the immigration or visa process done, It varies. Just like it varies. I know that some of you guys have like gone through trying to, especially if you're going trying to move to Mexico, the requirements can vary based on which office you go to. Definitely the same thing here. Next level. Yeah. So one place might be like, yeah, we'll see you. And then they're like, oh, but you don't have this, and this paperwork. Example, when I was approved, because I went through an attorney to get everything set up for my visa. And so when I had to go to actually apply to get the actual card, there was a whole list of things that you're supposed to bring. There was like maybe, I want to say like 6 things that I was supposed to bring, all this documentation. I think it was maybe more than that. And I go, and the lady was like, and I need these 2 things, and that's it. That's it. Now, I just found out the other day that because she didn't ask for one of the items, um, my ID card, I might have to get a revised ID card because there was some information that was supposed to be on there that's not. That's going to hinder me from getting public health care right now. So we have to start over with that process. Bureaucracy. It can be challenging. Yes, it can be a little challenging. Again, none of the things that I'm sharing right now with you is anything that is going to make me be like, I don't want to be here. Yeah, so. Christine says, yes, that was a pro for me too. Oh, I use Numbeo to compare some safety. Oh, okay, she's talking about the safety. Safety metrics. What is this? Numbeo? Oh, okay. Okay, I've never heard of that. To compare safety metrics to the city I was living in before, and Zaragoza was either the same or better versus the others were all worse. Really? Okay. Christina did her research. Baby, when I tell you yes, okay, I came here with a feeling. I was like, I feel like this is right for me. Christina was like, I have stats and data. She had charts, graphs. Yes. She did water samples. Okay. Yes. And and it's funny though, because all of us that, well, the people that I have met, people come to Zaragoza for various reasons based on various information that they have. And it's just very interesting. We all kind of come to the same conclusion that yes, I feel safe. Well, okay, we all have come to our own conclusions, but overall, it's like I feel safe here. I can live here for a while and enjoy it and feel very comfortable. So, and I love that. I love that for us. And yeah, that's why again, everybody's experience is different, but I really do love the fact that I want to help build or grow a community because I feel like so much more at peace being here, being out of the US, but being here because, yeah, it's like you can go to different countries and discover, and it may not be the right fit for you. I found Zaragoza, and it's a really good fit for me right now. And I'm taking full advantage of that and just really just soaking it up, just loving every minute of it. Okay, so we have a few more here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to one more con though that I thought it was on the list, but I hate that the grocery stores are closed on Sundays. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Now, I am very thankful because I do live in the city center area that there's one grocery store that's open. It's called El Campo, but El Campo is not open. All the stores aren't open all the time. This particular location of the El Campo grocery store, it's not my go-to store, but it's a nice grocery store that's convenient when everything else is shut down on Sundays or on the holidays. And the thing is, Zaragoza has a lot of holidays. Well, Spain has a lot of holidays, period. They have a lot of countrywide holidays, but then you have, depending on where you're at, they have the regional holidays, and then you have local holidays. So Zaragoza has a lot of holidays, a lot. And the thing is, whenever there's a holiday, most likely the grocery store is closed. So it's not like like in the US, like Labor Day or, you know, even Thanksgiving or, Memorial Day or all these, Halloween. I'm just throwing out stuff. The grocery stores are usually still open. Okay. Besides Christmas and I think maybe Thanksgiving afternoon, it's open, or Thanksgiving morning, it's open, and then they close in the afternoon. But here, if it's a holiday, it's closed. Yeah. So you have to go to the grocery store before, and or know what your menu is going to look like before Sunday or before the holidays. But really, the big frustration for me is the Sundays that the grocery store is closed. Again, you get over it. It is what it is. I think especially because like if I was in a smaller town than Zaragoza, yeah, everything will be shut down, period. So, you know, I hate it because my grocery store of choice is Mercadona. I also I like to go to Carrefour. Like, you want to go run your errands on the weekend. So if the weekend is here, but everything is shut down, like the mall is closed on Sundays. Okay, closed. So that just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like it's the weekend. The mall should be open, and they have beautiful outdoor and indoor malls. They have like I think 3 or 4 malls here. Anyways, but they're closed on Sundays. So it just kind of rubs me the wrong way because I feel like then the weekend I just have one day to really get out and go someplace. I work from home. I don't start working my US job hours until like 8 or 9. Well, I work US time. So it's like, 4 or 5 in the afternoon when I start working here. So if I need to go to the mall and all that, I can go during the week. But I'm just thinking in my mind, I would really love for everything to still be open on Sundays so I can really get out there and get stuff done. Yeah. And I just stayed at home this weekend and didn't do anything. So, and I didn't starve. So, M. Bright asked a question. She said, I may have missed it, but how do you pay for rent living in the city center? Oh, if you don't have a Spanish bank account, I use Wise. I've had a Wise account forever, and that's like you can send funds in any currency. What you do is you put. So my U.S. bank account is connected to the online account Wise, and anyways. I don't want to confuse anything. So I can transfer funds from my US account into the Wise account, and then I can actually send money in whatever currency I need to send it in. And just as an example, a few years ago when I was working for my last full-time job, the people that reported to me, none of them were in the US. They were in the Philippines, they were in Nicaragua, they were in Canada, they were like all over. And what I would do every year for Christmas is I would send out some funds to them because they were contract employees and had no benefits at all. So it was just something that I just did. And so with the Wise account, I had one friend that had like, she was from, I forget where she's from. Anyways, the bottom line was I was able to send funds to my team members in their currency, and it was very easy. So I do the same thing here with my rent, and all is needed is the IBAN number, which is the European account number for the person that I'm paying. So I pay my rent every month via Wise, and I send the funds directly to my landlord's bank account, and she gets it like in no time. There was one issue with Wise over the holidays. They decided to delay transferring funds over the past holidays. So usually whenever I transfer funds from my US account to the Wise account, and it's just US to US. So I have US currency, and then I can transfer within Wise. I can transfer the funds from, convert the US funds into whatever the currency is, euro. Okay. Anyways, during the holidays, when I was getting ready to send money from my US account and put it into my Wise account then I could send it over to pay rent, they were like, yes, the funds will be available in 6 days. I was like, what the hell? Because I would transfer funds like I don't know, like the 28th of each month and then just pay the rent. Nope. Wise was like, no, we need to hold on to the funds. So we're not going to actually post anything for 6 days. And then I went to go pay my rent for February, and the funds like hit when I went to do the transfer from my US account into Wise. The funds hit like 2 minutes later. So I don't know what that was about. But for me, it's been very easy to work with. I will eventually open up a Spanish account, but right now Wise is working just fine for me. You just have to know how to use it to make sure you're not paying crazy amounts of fees. And it took me a while because I messed up a couple of times, especially when I was getting money out from the ATM. Yeah, but I got it figured out. So I'm happy now. I hope that answers your question. I hope that, yes, please, again, if you are interested in coming to hang out with me in February, yes, no, I said February. Let's try that again. If you're interested in coming to hang out with me in April, please do make sure that you join the Black and Zaragoza group. If you're not part of Exodus Summit community, you can also just join the Black and Zaragoza community, and you will have access to all the information that's going on, the entire itinerary that I'll be posting and sharing, and you can speak with other people that are also interested in hanging out. Okay, great. Let's see here. We have just a few more. I can't believe I do not. I want you guys to know, I don't know why, but for some reason, I don't even take naps on Sundays when I'm staying up until noon. So I've been up since like 8 o'clock this morning and been pretty productive. And then I keep telling myself, you need to take a nap. Still, nope, haven't done it yet. And that's fine by me. Because, yeah, I'm not going to go to sleep until like, I don't know, about 3, I guess. Okay, so here it says, well, that's not true. That's not true. Okay, so they were saying that the mild winters. Okay, they said that a pro is a mild winter. So the winters to me are fine. I mean, it's not like it doesn't like get, yeah, the winters are okay. The winters here is okay. From what I understand, it has been worse. Like it's gotten down to, I think at one point it got down to, and I'm speaking in Fahrenheit, so I think it got down to like maybe 28 one day. I think that's the lowest that I've seen this year. It's only snowed in Zaragoza twice since my daughter has lived here, and one was in 2022, no, 2021. I can't remember now when that was, when the big storm hit. It was 2021. Anyways, when the big storm hit in Texas. And so, yeah, it snowed here during that time. It was really crazy. And then it snowed one other time in, I think, I want to say like 2023. It snowed here. But overall, it's the wind that kicks your butt here. So I can deal with the winter. I did get some of those tights that are like the fleece tights. Yeah, I got some of those because, yeah, when you're walking around, it does get kind of cold, and you make sure that you have some good boots, shoes, and not just some simple flats in the winter. You don't want to do that. Yeah, you want to have some really good boots that are well insulated. I've seen so many people wearing shorts in the winters, but they have like the tights on, and the tights are fleece, so that's how they still get away with doing that. Yeah. But yeah, so I would say the winters are actually, to me right now, this is my first winter here. So like full winter, and it's been okay. But then also I have a great heating system in this apartment. So I'm a little spoiled. You have to ask about like insulation and radiators and good heating in the apartment. So I think that's why the winter has not been so bad for me, because if you don't have good an apartment with good insulation here, you're screwed. It's because I was in Portugal in March, and the apartment that I was in did not have any kind of radiators, and I was freezing. It was colder inside than it was outside, and I hated that. And I've heard that there's some people around Spain that have moved here that they've had that experience. I've been blessed to not have that experience. I've been nice and toasty in my apartment, and if it's too cold, I ain't going outside. Yeah, how about that? I just ain't going outside. Okay, so yeah. I have to like really decide, is it worth it? No. Yeah. make sure I have my coffee and my food, and I'm good to go. And you said, how much do you pay in rent living? Oh, how much? Okay. Did I say that already? Okay, so okay, my bad. I will say this. I did mention this already, and again, it just varies. Rent can be as expensive as you want it to be. You know, there are some places that I've seen, like on Idealista, which is like where you find most of your rental listings, and I've seen some apartments that they're like, oh, it's only 2,200. I'm like hell no, I'm not doing that. But you can find something that, depending on the different areas, that it might be, you might find something that's $350 a month or €350 a month. You may be able to find that. In the city center area, I venture, I'm just going to say what I know, that you could probably get away with 700, 800, maybe 900, depending. I have a 2-bedroom, and it's 750 euros. So yeah. But you can find something, if like, they do have like places where, like, you can just rent a room. It's a community living, like a co-living thing, where you can just rent a room, and they have a lot of those here, that are, I mean, one I was looking at a couple of years ago, and it was very nice. I just wanted my own, space. And so, but yeah, there's some great options out there. You just know your finances and know what you're willing to spend. I definitely am not looking to spend what I was. I mean, I know that I don't have a car payment or anything like that anymore, but I don't want to spend what I was spending in the U.S. And I was spending, like, my last place, I was spending about 1,800, and I know that was back in 2023. So yeah, I know it's gone up since then. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with what I have now. I'm supposed to be moving at the end of my lease in July, and because I do want my pet, and I need to find a place that will accept a dog. I miss having a dog, and we'll see what that looks like. I'll give you guys an update then. We'll see. Okay, so let's see here. I just had a few more. Oh, okay. So let's go down to okay, healthcare can be slow. Okay, so here's the deal. I love that I have my private healthcare. Okay, and once I get some things straight, I actually, as a resident, will qualify for the public healthcare. Okay, but sometimes that bureaucratic process can be very overwhelming or underwhelming. So if you need to see a specialist, there might be some longer wait times. That's why I have not given up my private health care yet. Well, I'm not going to do that anyways, because when you have your private health care, which I pay just about €1,200 a year, and there's no out of pocket, there's no deductible and no copay. It's just that. But it's easier for you to set your appointments with a specialist when you have the private care. But if, from what my daughter has said, I haven't had to use it yet, but if you have an emergency, um, public health is wonderful. It's just, I think it takes longer if you need to see a specialist and getting appointments for a specialist. But for, like, if you have an emergency or you just need to, like, go and do your basics, yes, public health care is supposedly very, very good. My other issue that I had with finding a doctor here is, and that's taking a little bit longer, is finding a doctor that speaks English. And I have been adamant that I want to be able to navigate that on my own. I really don't want, like, my daughter or a translator coming with me to see a doctor. I really don't want that. So therefore, it's taking me a little while longer. And I've actually seen a doctor here. I've seen, just, to get some prescriptions filled. And, texting and messaging is great. But for my well woman things, I actually have an appointment in Madrid later this month. So I just opted, I wanted to find an English speaking doctor. Not just an English speaking doctor. I wanted to find a English speaking doctor that had great reviews. Okay. So with that, I decided that I'm going to go to Madrid to see this for my well woman, and get everything checked out, and be able to communicate. I think, pretty freely, and making sure that nothing is getting lost in translation. So I think that's a con that you have to consider, but something that again you can navigate, and the healthcare is still better than, and it's if you get sick or something happens, you're not going to go into debt, as far as I know. Yeah. Mm, Another con, I'm just going to go ahead and read this, is international lack of international foods. Now, I'm speaking for Zaragoza, and I will say this would have been true some years ago, and Zaragoza is not up there with Madrid or Barcelona as far as food options, but it is so much better. Yes, the food scene is improving every year in Zaragoza in my eyes. And I really have, Google, yeah, Google is your friend. You got to go on there and see what people are saying about it, and check it out. And yeah, I've been able to really find some really great places to enjoy. There's been some misses, but overall, I think that the international, as far as like if you want some, different food from different countries, yeah, but Caribbean food, no, I'm gonna have to go back to Madrid for that. Okay. I'm sure, like, hopefully in the next couple of years, there's going to be even more options. But I think that for what's available now, because there's restaurants all over Zaragoza, I mean, everywhere, you will be able to find foods that that you really do enjoy, and appreciate. And I found some great food here. But I think that the food scene, as far as international flair, is definitely growing. So, and yeah, and I love for people to come here, and I take them to, just to, hey, let's come sit down and just try it out. I have become a connoisseur of, and I'm not saying that's the only thing that's available, but I love me some good octopus. I love octopus. Love it. The other con, well, oh, wait. We're going to stay on point, friendly locals, food scene, quality of life is pro. Quality of life. Oh my goodness. Yes. I feel, and I've said this so many times before, but there's just a different way of living. Yes, I still work. And I love what I do. I do accounts receivable and I love it. And I love that I am strictly doing just contract consulting for my job of choice, and also doing these other things of talking about, promoting Locating Cozy and doing things along that nature. But even with the work that I have to do, I still find great work-life balance here. Absolutely. Yes. Do I start working at, 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock sometimes, and I don't go to bed until, maybe 1 or 2 sometimes? Yep. Still absolutely love it. I feel a certain amount of the stress that I was experiencing from my last full-time job is gone, and I don't want to do that ever again. And I'm just trying to do things in a way that I don't have to. Yeah. Yes, if I'm able to sustain a better quality of life, in an area, and that I don't have to pay so much rent, I don't have to worry about car payments and all that stuff. I don't have to fear going to the doctor and becoming like broke and having collection agencies call me, and still just enjoying, yeah, my work, and seeing family, and yes, and seeing friends and hanging out. Absolutely love it. And Zaragoza is just that slower pace that I appreciate. It's not podunk town slow. It's just appreciating, like just seeing people just walk hand in hand, and whatever the age different, it might be like a grandson and just walking with his grandmother's or his grandfather, whatever. It's just so beautiful just to see that peace and that calm, and I just want to soak it up. I love it. And then last here on the con side for Zaragoza, it gets freaking hot. It gets hot. And the thing is, it's concrete. It's concrete jungle here. Now, it does not get, it's not humid to me. It's not humid here, but it does get hot. And because it's not a lot of, I mean, yeah, it's not a lot of trees and all that stuff, and forestry. I mean, on the outside of Zaragoza, like in the hills, yes, there's places for you to go for walks and, and go hiking and all that. And that's great. But the Spanish heat here, baby, yeah, it feels like you're stepping into an oven sometimes when you come outside, and that's intense. But again, I am very thankful because I was running my AC. I experienced my first summer here this past, 2024, and it was intense. But I ran my AC. That's why I said I have to get my own place, because I need to run my AC and not have anybody look at me sideways about you're running the AC too much. I don't care. I will pay. But it can be challenging. It can be like, 100 degrees. And if you're walking around, people don't go outside until like in August, like late July, August, early September. They're inside and they don't tend to go outside until like the evening. So like I remember one time, there were a few times, coming back home at 11 o'clock in the evening, and the kids are in the park playing because they have to wait until the evening time to come out and enjoy themselves during the summer, because it's too hot at 11, 12, 1 o'clock during the day. So yeah, that's it. What's up? Hi there. Oh my gosh. Hello. Okay. So I'm just like surprised. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yay. Hey girl. How you doing? Hey sisters. Hello. So I think that's it. That's my list for now. Will this list change? Will there'll be other things that I'll be like, this is freaking awesome, or I might be like, this sucks. Yes, I'm sure there will be things that I might discover that will either make me extremely happy and I will have to share, or will make me extremely frustrated and I'll have to share. But overall, when you're looking at the pros and the cons of, for me, my Zaragoza experience, it's been well worth it. No place is perfect. It's just not happening, okay? Because if it was, everybody would be there. But for me, I'm looking at if the pros outweigh the cons, and I say yes, the pros definitely outweigh the cons as far as what I can deal with, what is acceptable for me in my living situation. And Zaragoza hits it. And again, I love the fact that it's so close in proximity that I am able to get to, if I want to go to the bigger cities or do something else, or go someplace else in another city, another country around here, around Europe, I can. And I look forward to taking full advantage of that sometime in the second half of 2025, God willing. So yeah, that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, yeah. I hope to see you guys. I will be live on Wednesday. I will be interviewing a wonderful young lady that's here. And also remember, I have other people that I'm going to be interviewing this month, and some where it'll just be me, myself, and you. But make sure that you put on your calendar right now for February 26th is when I'll be interviewing again my attorney. So he'll be on here answering some questions about the legalities of possibly moving to Spain, or things that you need to consider. He is my solicitor, and I think that he's awesome. And thank you so much. I really do appreciate the support, and I'm trying to get to my stuff. But yes, and I never did pause. I did not pause my music. No. Okay. Hey guys.